So it has to be all special. Outdoors.
So you get to be like the cheerleader and,
T-minus.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're gonna get going here. Thank you all for coming. I'm gonna call the New Hartford Public Schools Board of Education special meeting dated January 15, 2026 at 5 p.m. to order at 5:02 p.m. If you are able, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Welcome, Kristen. Again, thank you for everyone attending tonight and making the change to your schedule for the special meeting due to some conflicts at the previously scheduled meeting. Next item on the agenda is B, order of business. I do not have any changes to the order of business. Does anybody have any items not on the agenda that they wish to motion to add? I'm sorry, we can't do that at the special meeting, so we can't do that tonight. All right, so move on to item C on the agenda, communication to the Board of Education and public comment. So I'm going to start with, and we'll go through them once we get down to Board of Education Chair's report with task representatives. But I do have a few letters that we'll go over at that time regarding interest in the task force. We also had one communication to the board that's being filed with these meeting minutes from resident Jay Bailey. That will be filed with the meeting minutes, so we're going to acknowledge receipt of that email. I think that was all, right? With that, we'll have public comment. Anybody like to address the board? All right, seeing none, we will move on to the next item on the agenda, superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, Chairman Kleps. Would like to start off by just directing everybody to the packet that you received with relative to some advocacy letters. We've been very busy as a Board of Education and as a leadership group communicating and expressing the needs of New Hartford Public Schools and the state of education overall. So if you take a look in your packet, you'll see advocacy letters to Jeffrey Beckham regarding our DRIP programming by the State Bond Commission. So we wrote that. We've also included that same letter to the entire State Bond Commission and also our Representative Mark Anderson and Senator Paul Honig. You could see that listed there. So these particular letters of advocacy were written due to the concern that this would not be funded through the bond commission, but it actually was, and we could expect to receive those funds of approximately $47,000 by the end of the year. The DRIP program is to help with small projects, maintenance related, for our school district. So very thankful for their support, and again, I wanted to share the letters of advocacy that we had written. Another letter of advocacy that we've been engaged in is making sure that our mental health grant was sustained. That was cut by the federal government. EdAdvance had received a grant of $8 million for the course of 5 years, and it supported mental health for New Hartford Public School students as well as many other surrounding school districts. Unfortunately, that grant has been discontinued and has not been moved forward to this date and time. So we have advocated for our local representatives to support that. So you'll see that in here. Additionally, you're going to see that there are proposed cuts by the House Appropriations Committee back in September, and you'll see a letter of advocacy here to our senators, Chris Murphy and many others, to state that any cuts to Title I, Title II, Title III funding is absolutely unacceptable because it has direct impact on our students. So you'll see that letter here. Then there are also acknowledgments of those receipts from various office staff, from Senator Chris Murphy, for example. There's a letter to Representative Johanna Haynes, to Jim Himes, to Joe Courtney. And again, you can see some of the responses that we received to date. And also to Representative John Larson and Richard Blumenthal, with again, receipts of those, Representative DeLauro, and the same thing there. All right. We also partnered with EdAdvance to also write additional letters of advocacy for that same mental health grant that I mentioned. So there's another letter there that EdAdvance had shared with us, and we partnered with them and our surrounding districts to request those funds to be maintained. Next up for our advocacy letters, a very, very, very special thank you to Regional Board 7. The state of Connecticut has provided an additional grant. DRIP grant was unanticipated, so was the SEED grant, but after legislation, they have provided various funds. The SEED grant is approximately $50,000 or so to support special education new hires. There are very specific criteria to it. And we are very thankful to Regional 7, to Superintendent LePage, to the board chairwoman, Molly, because they've decided as a board to allow New Hartford to maintain or retain the funds that we were supposed to share overall. So that was supposed to be shared with any of the regional school districts that send students up. And they've decided that they would allow New Hartford to retain theirs. In the current legislation, the legislators failed to think about regional school districts. They simply stated, take the money and divide it by ECS funding. Well, the difficulty is if you don't have ECS funding that's shared within a regional school district, they don't get any of the monies. So instead of engaging in that political conundrum, Region 7, thankfully, again, we're very grateful, has allowed us to maintain our monies to help offset the cost of special education. Again, I cannot express enough gratitude. You'll see that letter here as well with the specific amounts. There's the $49,245, and there are other districts such as Barkhamsted, Colebrook, and Norfolk. And then our response to that decision of the Region 7 board. Again, super, super thankful. All right, those are my advocacy letters. Moving on to some updates regarding our school facility utilization study. So far, we've had 2 meetings to date. The first was a meet and greet to talk about deliverables, the tentative timeline and data collection. SPA, or Silver Petroselli and Associates, has collected all architectural designs, mechanical reports, oil tank inspections, asbestos inspections, and so much more. We've also established dates for the task force. Those will all be posted online, social media, and throughout our school community. And we also have designated a very specific email for the task force, and it's nhtaskforce@newhtfd.org. We will also be posting that and sharing that within our minutes today, and also throughout all of our social media platforms and our communication. We have an intentional rotation of the meetings at our schools. The board can see some of the meetings that are listed there, the first of which will be January 22nd. It is a Thursday at Ann Antolini in the multipurpose room right here at 7 p.m. And that'll be our first, again, meet and greet. We'll talk about the goals and the purposes of the task force. The second meeting we've had was dedicated specifically to the enrollment projections and collecting all of the necessary reports so that the Silver Petroselli and Associates subcontracted with a company to provide the enrollment projections. There are very specific reports that are protected for student privacy. So we have a student privacy agreement with the company so that our students' data is protected. And that will help to provide our enrollment projections, which is in part of this study. But it also is very important when we are looking at grants, when we're looking at construction, when we're looking at recuperating funds or reimbursements. Student enrollment is very critical. So that is part of the study. We've had that initial meeting, and that timeline for completion of the enrollment study is within 2 months. And all of these updates will be posted on our website and again, social media and all of our mediums of communication to our school community. So before you, Board of Ed, if I could just turn your attention, again, these are the meeting dates. And tonight I know we'll be selecting our community members and also our board members, but these are the dates and the locations and times. There are extra dates here. Why? The study is not a one-year study. It's supposed to be about 6 months. It's a year-long process, in my humble opinion, because we're going to have a lot of discussion afterward. And we want to have a lot of community engagement at multiple times of the year. Skipping over the summer months because people are traveling. They're on vacation. So you'll note that there are meetings in January, February, March, April, May, and June. Skip July and August. Come back September, October, November, and December. If they're not necessary, great. We cross them off. If we've come to a conclusion and a recommendation of the task force to the boards of education, Board of Finance, and Board of Selectmen, fantastic. But these are save the dates outside of that window after probably September or so. Also before you, and again, these documents will all be available online. You'll see a school facility utilization tentative timeline. So you'll see, I apologize for the font, it is tiny, but I wanted to make it a one-pager, and thank you to Mrs. Sarah Vogel for helping out with that, and also Mrs. Michelle Miller from SPA. So here's the tentative timeline. So you'll see that the initial component is what we're doing right now. They have site visits scheduled, again, on January 16th and 21st, so that is that purple section that you see above. The task force kickoff will be, again, January 22nd here at Antolini. We'll define those goals there, and that'll take us into February. But also that's happening concurrently are facilities conditions. And I've just mentioned that they'll be conducting those walkthroughs and also the enrollment projections there. So you'll see that conducted. Some of them overlap. Programming and capacity will be the next exciting part of our task force timeline. You'll see that highlighted in yellow. So they're going to be taking time to meeting with the principals, reviewing existing programs and structures, benchmarking with state design and standard recommendations. They're going to be incorporating enrollment projections into capacity equations. There's so much that goes into this. And then ultimately around April or so, we'll start engaging in our master planning. And SPA will be presenting throughout, but here they'll be specifically presenting the initial concepts for discussion and refinement. We'll develop viable concepts further based on the task force meetings and feedback. We'll continue to gather feedback from the community meetings, surveys, or presentations. And we'll redefine or refine those options as needed for the course of May and into June and beyond. So then SPA at the end of it will have a developed booklet of information for all of the documentation of everything that we've done, including meeting minutes, including all of the deliverables, recommendations, data to support or inform the decisions that the task force will be charged with at the end of the course of the study.
I just want to be clear on that.
Yes, Tim.
The task force is not the decision-making authority,
Correct.
so they are a recommendation.
Yes. Yes,
Just to
absolutely.
be clear.
Yep.
Thank you.
So task force members will be appointed from the select bodies, Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, all set. Board of Ed will be tonight, and community membership, but they are making recommendations. They are not motioning or they don't have the authority to do so. They're not an elected body such as the Board of Ed or Board of Finance or Board of Selectmen. Any questions on the school facility utilization study? Okay.
Excuse me, you did say this is on the website, so I mean, it's hard to read this little font.
Yeah, everything will be, yeah, it was just to put it on the one pager. It is tiny outside of a magnifying glass or some serious
Right.
readers,
Took pictures of it so I could
so you
look
could
at it.
expand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, up next, just want to give a brief budget overview. We are in budget season. We have been in budget season, it feels like since, I don't know, since last budget season ended. There's always preparation, there's always reanalysis, there's always attempts at accurate projections based on enrollment, based on student data and trends. Also with contract negotiations, there's so many factors that go into a budget. So I want to just give a quick budget overview for the public and for everyone to know what our timeline looks like. Again, this will be available on our website. It's in your packets that I delivered on your desks or on your tables since the original packet went out. So today we'll have a quick budget overview telling you where we're at and where we're going to continue to work hard at lowering our percent of requested increase. We'll have an official superintendent's proposal on February the 3rd here at Antolini, 7 o'clock. Budget workshops will then take place on February 24th, 7 o'clock here at Antolini, and also on March the 3rd. Our capital expenditures will be presented on March the 10th, formally, if they need refinement. We'll have a budget workshop by the school and the town. That's on March 14th. Yes, that is a Saturday. And that's at 9:15 in the morning at Town Hall. So feel free to come on out during that time. And so was the previous meeting at Town Hall. Budget workshop number 3 will take place on March 17th after we've received some feedback at 7 p.m. here at Antolini. We'll finalize the budget with the Board of Finance. The date is TBD still, dependent on how our budget exercises work throughout the course of our time together. And that's at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall. We'll have our public hearing, as we do every single year, 7 p.m. Town Hall Senior Center. Budget workshop number 4 is reserved if it's necessary. We will come back at a date to be determined, 7 p.m. here at Antolini, to make any other adjustments that are necessary. The Board of Finance also has their budget adjustments on April 14th at 7 p.m. at Town Hall. And then we have our annual budget meeting on April 21st, 7 o'clock Town Hall, and then our town referendum, May 5th, 2026. So a lot of time to spend together to talk about the important needs of our entire school community in our town. Any questions on the timeline? Yes, sir.
Is this also posted on our?
Yes, everything will be posted. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep. It'll be part of our minutes and it'll be posted on our website. Yep. Task Force, I failed to mention, also has a tab just specifically for all the task force information and material that we're going over tonight and anything that we're going to be collecting going forward. So please note on the school website, there'll be a tab there just for task force dedicated for our public consumption. All right. Also,
I've got a couple of timeline questions.
yes, sir.
Sorry.
Is your mic on, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
We're looking, we have the meetings for the next year. Is there any, and these are just regular board meetings, right? Is there any way we could set the stuff that's in purple we have control of? Could we slide some of this? Is it possible to slide some of the budget meetings in?
I believe they are. They should be paralleled.
This
We're
doesn't start till August.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
I'm talking about, because did we know about all these dates before tonight?
Yes.
We did? Okay. Then
Yes,
I've
sir.
got them in my calendar. I was worried I didn't have them.
I got you. Yep.
And
These
one
are in
more-
alignment with our currently approved Board of Education budget meetings.
Oh, they do line up.
Yeah.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
Because my calendar's tight.
Understood.
The other question, you know how last year we got the public feedback after it was too late in a way to do much with it? Is there any way to improve that?
So this is the first attempt, right? Telling people here are all the dates, here are the times. We'll publicize that. This will be cast out in our capability as a Board of Education.
Mm-hmm.
The town can certainly do as they see fit from the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance and how they solicit folks to come out. This is our first just general, give a timeline out. We'll communicate this out in our Friday folders on our website and our social media platforms so that everyone that we have control over communications with has the information. Hopefully they read it. Hopefully they mark their calendars and can come out and discuss or provide public feedback as we have opportunities twice every meeting. So hopefully this is the first opportunity that people take that into mind and start to save the dates on their calendars.
We have that new committee that seems to have a lot of energy with it about communication. That might be something that
We've talked about that.
they could help.
Yeah, at outreach, absolutely. Yeah, we recently had a meeting and there are minutes also available there for some of the ideas that were generated for community outreach. Yep. Thank you, Frank. All right, so the last piece before we move on from our budget overview is that currently the staff, I have to give a great, huge thank you to the entire central office staff from Amy, Gail, Kellyanne, Sarah, our curriculum coach, Heather, who's here, Director of Student Services, Mike, God bless you. Mike is also here, our school admin, Dr. Kelly Carroll and Amy Kennedy. I know that they're having a concert right now or else they would be here. At the present timeline and under some of the assumptions that I'll go over in just a moment, just to give a very broad stroke, we are currently at about a 5.25% requested increase. And some of those assumptions that, again, I'll be presenting more officially next week are going to be obviously inflation and cost of living adjustments. So we'll take a look at that. Increased cost for employee healthcare has already been shared. Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance are where we meet regionally to talk about our consortium, but we understand that there are double-digit employee healthcare increases there. There's increase in our transportation costs. Last year, if you remember, we had an awesome savings at a -1. Now we're on the increase, but we're at a different baseline. So if we forecast that out 5 years out, that's a savings of about $500,000 because we reset at a -1, and I could demonstrate that within our budget presentation. We're also expecting a decrease in excess cost grant. That's typical for what the state does. They appropriate a certain amount of money, one big pot, but then everyone requests from it. So then the requested monies or the anticipated monies that were expected within a threshold of tiers. Mike does a great job presenting that, by the way. Could ask the board members at the retreat. Then you'll see that after all of the school districts have requested monies, there is less there available for every district. So we work within that. We try to be very conservative in what our thoughts and projections are of that grant to support our special education costs. And then there are also contingencies that we'll see within the budget this year. That's something new. We have contingencies for emergencies or unforeseen costs that come up. So you'll see those this year. That's going to be a little change. I've met with our board chair and talked about that. So we thought that would be a nice improvement over the course of our budget season to know what are our contractual obligations. These are fixed costs versus here's some of the contingencies that we can consider as a board to cut. Okay, so we'll review all of that and more starting February the 3rd. And again, to echo Frank's sentiment, please come out, please share your thoughts. Community members that are listening or watching online, please, 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 the board obviously wants to hear from you. So please come on out. All right, our Tools for Schools checklist, as is required by legislation, we are publicly making it aware. It's available, it's online. This is something that we do every single year to ensure that our schools are safe and have met standards designed by the federal EPA. So the Tools for Schools checklist have been completed. If you have your form here, you'll see that it's an electronic link on the agenda. You could click on that or visit our website. All of the information is listed there, as well as our indoor air quality that we have to do every single year as well. And our 5-year HVAC, we're well ahead of schedule, is also posted there, making it publicly official and announced so that the public is aware of our legal requirements to complete those things. They are done and they are posted well ahead of schedule. All right, up next is our proposed Board of Education regular meeting schedule. So you'll see that in your packet. I want to take a look at that. Couple quick notes. Actually, one quick note, or maybe two. Let's see. The first would be that the regular meeting schedule, August 26th to 28th, you'll notice that there is a board retreat from December to the last week of January. Why? Too close to holiday season, too close to everything. So I heard the feedback from the Board of Education very clearly. So we've selected a different date. We'll go to the end of January, after our new year, after things have slowed down a bit, and we're not all crazy running around buying gifts, wrapping things, doing whatever we need to get done. So hopefully that's appetizing to the Board of Ed instead. So you see those changes there. And then also, if you want to make note of this, we've scheduled additional meetings in the month of January. So January 5th and 19th of 27, and January 4th and 18th of 2028 are specifically designed there as 2 meetings so we could kick off budget season A earlier and B, have more time for, again, community involvement, revisions to the budget, just to have it out a little bit earlier going forward. So this calendar, after review, also very special thanks to Penny Miller, who reviewed the calendar to look for conflicts with Board of Finance so that we are not conflicted. Thank you so much, Penny. Want to make sure that the board has a minute to look at this. You've had the packets, obviously, but we do need to motion to make this official and vote on it so that it can be given to the town clerk and then posted officially. So I'll turn it over to Chairperson to
I
conduct
have
that.
one question.
Oh, yes, please,
Why are we,
Let's start with a motion.
I'm-
for discussion afterward.
okay.
Yeah, please.
I make a motion that we accept the calendar for August 2026 through June 2028.
Thank you. Motion by Penny. Can I get a second? Second by, who wants it? John? All right.
My question,
Discussion.
why is it a Thursday meeting on April 27th, 2028?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it conflicts with
Is it vacation?
our vacation week, and I'll
Oh.
look to Sarah for any other quick update
I
there.
believe we were avoiding that Tuesday because of budget season.
Correct.
And typically that Tuesday was.
For Board of Finance, I believe.
So,
Yeah. So we try to avoid any conflicts going forward,
Okay.
because every year we found that, oh, we'd like to have a Board of Ed meeting, but Board of Finance meeting too. Wait, so this is our
Okay,
very far attempt to make sure we have no conflicts.
okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
No problem.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Any additional questions on the calendar? We've all had time to review it. All right. Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous.
Okay, outstanding. Next up, and this will also need a motion to approve, is our proposed 2026, 2027 school calendar. If you've been on the board for a while, you'll notice amazing changes to the calendar. It is extremely colorful, and it's also clearer in respect to the fact that terms are broken down, school days are broken down, but you could also see all of the specific first, last day of schools. You'll see early release days. You'll see days for no school for teachers and students. It's very descriptive. It also now has synced with your personal calendar option. Thank you, Mrs. Sarah Vogel. So you'll see that you could click on that and follow those directions, and it'll link with your own calendar at home. Look out, people, 2026, here we come. So that was seeking an approval date. The last revision date was in December of 25, but I also want to turn your attention over to the back. Wait, there's more. So you'll see listed all of the major events taking place over the course of the year for our Board of Education, from meetings to holidays to open house proposal dates. Thank you, Region 7. We were able to collaborate with them again and avoid those conflicts. You'll see Board of Ed meetings, like I said, early release days, winter breaks, Memorial Day. This is chock full of everything so that we're communicating well in advance what next year's school calendar will look like in 2026 to 2027, believe it or not. So we'll need a motion.
Motion to approve, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Penny. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Tim.
Can I just make one suggestion that maybe on the backside here, someplace put in the year, either at the beginning or maybe January the 5th? I'm assuming that's 27, the BOE meeting?
So it starts in 26. So if on the left-hand side, you see where it says New Hartford Public Schools, this will tell you that it's in the 26 year to the 27 year. So that'll guide you through. So after January, it obviously changes over to the 27, but
I just thought it would help, like even just put 8/18/26. Then everybody knows it starts in this year, August. Just a suggestion,
okay, thank
when
you.
I quickly looked at it.
Was there going to be discussion on that or no?
On what?
On the calendar?
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Just a quick question on Election Day, November 3rd. I've gotten a lot of questions about this. A lot of other towns have their professional development day on Election Day. We have ours the day before. Is there any reasoning for that? We know Region 7 also has their professional development on Election Day as well.
Yeah, so we are not a voting site, so we have school in session here. Otherwise, that's why it's typically districts do that, because the buildings are vacated of students.
Right.
And staff is there, so it lines up pretty well with that. So that's why we've selected to do
Do
ours
we
the day
want to
before.
align it with Region 7 or no?
Not necessarily, it doesn't need to be, because we're not sharing, our professional development goals are not typically related.
All right.
They're more focused on our elementary level.
Wouldn't it?
I think he's
From a
referring to.
community perspective.
Community
Yeah,
perspective is what I'm
students.
thinking about.
And bus savings,
Right.
How is it
because don't we share buses?
we do,
So
for the
if-
same contracted days outside of after-school activities, which
So if
Region 7 has
we,
more
if
expense
we
than.
had the election on the same day, both of us, wouldn't need to be any buses that day. But now you have to have buses on.
for
both
elementary.
days, Right?
You gotta bring-
Seems like there might be some
Versus
bus
the,
savings.
you
versus
gotta
the
bring Region
Monday.
7 students there on Monday, and you've got to bring the Hartford students on Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's just a change of days.
Yeah, what he's saying is that if we both had the same PD day on Tuesday, the 3rd, election day,
No
there's
buses on
no
that
buses
day.
have to run on
For
that
any
day
of us.
For anybody.
Right.
And there
reason
might
for-
be some savings there.
And it aligns with people who have students in primary schools and people who have students in middle school and high school.
Got it.
They have the same day off.
I could take it back to my admin team outside of any other consideration for it.
There was a time when, during COVID, when they did use this place as a voting place.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, that's not-
was- I don't know if it was the first year of COVID or second year, but we did vote in the cafeteria.
Outside of any, I'm not a fan of that. I'd like to keep school as school. And we have other places where people go to vote for our turnout of a couple hundred people for the fire department, senior center. If it became something that they needed to, and they needed that space, then we would have to be in discussions with the town and the
Because,
register of voters for that.
because of the regulations from the state, I believe, that we had to be so many feet apart from each other and not in close proximity to anybody else. That's why they did it up here instead of the firehouse, because the firehouse doesn't allow us enough room to be separated during COVID.
Well, the other thing for now that I can think of it would be practical for some families is childcare. Because you may have teenagers who are home that on the same day as their younger siblings that could watch their younger siblings. So there might be bus savings and childcare advantages.
Yep, I could,
When does this need to be approved by?
we could bring it back to the February 3rd meeting.
Okay.
No problem.
So while we're at that, the dates that Penny had brought up on Thursdays aren't reflected in this calendar, so we'll have to make that adjustment. 20th is reflected. It'll reflect the 22nd.
Say it again so I capture it.
That's the meeting date. That should be in green.
Got it.
This is mine, the same retreat date for each of the old retreat dates. And not
Thank you. Update retreat dates. Okay, got it.
Sarah, thank you so much for making a digital version of this. It is going to save me 500 million hours. So I appreciate it personally from me to you.
Since it's not approved, it's not available yet.
Will be.
The remainder of-
You've got time.
The remainder of 26 is available. So if you go online, you can save the remainder of the 26 to June.
All right. Any other feedback for clarity, for alignment, for thoughts and processes? Speak now. Yes, sir.
So I understand not voting this tonight. Questions among the community, though, are we able to let the community know the first day of school will be the 26th of August?
Until it's finalized, I would not.
It's
Just
been,
let's
no, it's-
motion it
it's okay.
officially and
it's been
then,
a common question. That's why I was just curious. So
Can I have you change your motion to table till February 3rd meeting, please?
I'll take back my motion. I don't know who made the second.
Tim.
Okay. He's taking back his second
Yeah,
to
sure.
table this until our
February
February
3rd.
Board of Ed meeting.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you.
I do agree with Kristen and Frank, though, and Eric. I think it's a good idea to change that PD day.
Okay. Does that wrap up the superintendent's report?
taking it one more time. Okay, no, I have a couple other quick things. All right, for some department updates, in pre-K, our pre-K programming continues to grow with several new students expected in this new year. So again, a very wise decision by this Board of Education to support the third section of pre-K because students continue to come to us from all of our daycares after 3 years old. So thank you, Mike, and all of his staff for running such an amazing program. Some other quick building updates. We are going to enter into a free of cost, our Connecticut taxpayer money working very hard with OSHA as a preventative and proactive measure to look through our buildings to, again, continue to ensure the highest of standards for safety for all of our students and our kiddos. So we'll be conducting some walkthroughs there. That will also be in alignment with some of our task force work. So we'll be providing some of those updates and reviews. That comes, again, free of cost, but we will be engaging in that. So thanks in advance to Mr. Ross Fenner, Jamie Hirschkel, and Mark Palutro, who will be engaged with OSHA, OSHA specifically. Okay, so lastly, I have sad news and just want the board to be aware, and we all extend our condolences to our school psychologist, Alex Pleward, on her mother's recent passing. This concludes all of my updates.
Okay, just for the board's purpose, you and I spoke about it, but the partnership with OSHA, there was a reason that came to light to us. And
Sure.
I'd like just to make the board aware.
Absolutely. So Region 7 recently had a wonderful surprise visit by OSHA. OSHA now in their 5-year strategic plan will be surprise visiting 2 school districts per year. So as soon as Superintendent LePage shared that with me and other superintendents, grab the bull right by the horns, get right to work and trying to be preventative versus getting fined. We don't have any interest in that. We'd want to be proactive. And if there are issues that come up through OSHA, that's the measure to take care of that. It is a, again, free visit where they come in, they will advise and help to remedy issues. And then we have a set timeline if something is significant or severe without being issued a fine. So I want to avoid that at all costs. And again, amazing credit to Superintendent LePage because he's also shared that with all of the superintendents in the state of Connecticut because it was one of those surprise, we're here. And he thought, no, schools don't get OSHA visits. Well, now they do according to their 5-year strategic plan. So we're wonderful public consumption. Thank you, OSHA, but we will work with you to make sure everything is safe, and more safe. Thank you, Tim, for that reminder.
And then just with that, the DRIP grant can be utilized for,
Yep. So the DRIP grant is for district repair and improvement. Again, small projects, nothing of major construction. And the DRIP grant was a legislative move and action, hearing from boards of education, specifically hearing from superintendents that maintenance costs for older buildings need help and support, can't continue without help from the state of Connecticut, with additional pressure of student per pupil costs have not increased in the state of Connecticut for over 13 years. Other states are doing better to fund public education. So we put a hardcore press on there. Our advocacy groups also did a great job, and we were awarded, as well as other school districts, monies to help remedy that. So in this year's upcoming budget, you will see DRIP. You didn't see it last year because we didn't know it was going to exist. But you'll see an upcoming budget. You'll see those to offset the cost of maintenance and emergency repairs. So small things or larger, slightly larger things, but it cannot be a major construction project such as a roof replacement. But if a boiler goes down, needs to be replaced, this would be a perfect use of that money. Or our water conditioning, our water treatment that we're going to be installing at Bakerville. This is another exact use of those monies to help the towns to be able to offset some of the costs from the state. So that's why I wanted to solicit that.
or OSHA finds
Any-
something we need to address.
Correct. Yep. So if there's a project that comes up through an OSHA fund, the DRIP funds will be able to support and help that.
Are there any questions regarding anything on the superintendent's report before we move on?
Could it also be used for our oil tanks?
That's a major cost.
Oh, okay.
That's 250,000 estimated last year that I got some quotes on. per tank times 4, 1 million.
I don't know how much the drip grant.
47,000.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, drop in the bucket for that.
How soon will the board see a copy of the proposed budget for next year?
February 3rd.
Okay. not
That's the
until then.
superintendent's proposed budget. Yeah,
Okay.
on the timeline, that's what I went over.
Okay,
Yeah, February 3rd. I got you.
thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you'll have it slightly in advance.
Right, I realize that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Good. All right, let's move on to Board of Education Chairs Report. I have two items under Board of Education Chairs Report. The first is the cancellation of our April 7th, 2025 meeting. We do need to cancel that due to conflict during budget season with the Board of Finance. So we're going to cancel that meeting. Do we need a motion to do that?
Yes.
We need a motion to do that. Can I get a
Why
motion?
2025? Isn't this
Yeah,
2026?
yeah, you're right. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
2026. You
I
got it?
was wondering
It's
why
the,
you're going back a
the
year.
date's written down. I'm just reading what's on the paper.
All right, I'll make a motion that we cancel the April 7th, 2026 meeting.
All right, we have a motion by Penny. Thank you for correcting the year. Can I get a second? We got a second by John. Is there any discussion? We have a lot of meetings during that time frame. Yeah. 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 A lot of meetings. All right, seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous. All right, the next item on the chair's report is the task force representatives. So as Superintendent Sousa has said a few times today, we do need to appoint members of the Board of Education and members of the community to the task force. I've received interest in participation from several on the Board of Education, and there is a sheet in front of you with those who expressed interest, as well as those from the community. We do have the opportunity to, if anybody else had not responded to me, we do have write-ins, so I will ask that in a minute, whether or not you want to participate as well. In addition to the Board of Education members that will have 3, the Board of Finance will have 2 members that have already been appointed to the task force. They are Carrie Guilfoyle and Ben Whitty. And then the Board of Selectmen have their members, and they are Alicia Kennerson and Mary Beth Greenwood. All right. So they are on there. So would anybody who is not listed, so again, I'll just say out loud, the interest from the Board of Education came from John Puz, Penny Miller, Kirby Moranti, and Kristen Young. So is there anybody else on the board that would like to be written in for today's appointment to the board or to the task force? All right, seeing none. Again, any Board of Education member, any community member has the ability to attend any one of these task force meetings. They are public meetings. They're not allowed to participate, but they are allowed to attend to listen and understand what's going on with these task force. So the ask is, and then again, I'll go into, because we're going to do this all at one time for the 3 Board of Education members and then the community members. So the community members we have broken down into 1 community member who has school-age children in our school system. And the second is a community member who does not have school-age children in the school system. So with children in the school system, we only have 1 expressed interest, at least that I've seen through via email, and that is Samantha Wald. So Samantha Wald is, she will be placed on here. We don't have anybody else to consider. When it comes to the community members without school-age children in the school system, we have 2 that have expressed interest, and I did bring their emails that they sent to me. The first is Carmen Neal. Carmen Neal had sent, and I shared this with the Board of Education members, but I'll read it aloud. Dear gentlemen, this is to both Superintendent Sousa and myself. I would like to offer my name for the joint task force regarding utilization of the New Hartford schools to fill the slot of the community member without school-age children. Here is a brief account of my background. My husband and I have been residents of the town for over 30 years. Our two children grew up here and benefited from the town's wonderful school system. I am a lawyer, but since I retired from the practice of law, I have been involved in children's education in many different capacities. I worked for the New Hartford school system first as a general substitute teacher and then as a long-term sub for the Spanish teacher who broke her hip. I was born in Columbia and am fully bilingual. For several years, I ran an after-school book club for children from the 4th to 6th grades to discuss books nominated for the Nutmeg Award as part of the Bakerville Library Program. I taught Spanish at the Hunter Montessori School here in town and at the Farmington Valley Montessori, and for 16 years at Watkinson School in Hartford. I am a freelance translator and interpreter for the Torrington Board of Education and other entities. I volunteered doing recordings in Spanish for CRIS Radio, an organization that serves the blind and reading challenged. I enjoy serving our community in different capacities, and I believe my background and experience would be an asset to this task force. Respectfully, Carmen Neal, 39 Spencer Brook Road, New Hartford. This was also followed up with another email on January 13th, re-expressing that interest, and I did share that as well. The other interested individual as a community member without school-age children comes from Jeffrey Linton. He writes, "Hi, Tim and Jeff. I would like to volunteer my services, time, and effort for the New Hartford Public Schools Strategic Planning Committee. Having lived in town for 45 years, and my wife Nancy and family, we are committed to continuing to improve the school district for the benefit of the students of New Hartford." He says, "Tim, please say hello to Marissa. For me, and tell her I am an assistant indoor track coach." So you clearly coached my wife back in the day. Right? Right. So those are the two that we have to choose from the community members. So in front of you is a sheet of paper for you to make your choices for the, again, 3 Board of Education members and 2 community members without school children. I would ask you to fill that out, sign it, and give it to Superintendent Susa, please.
And just for clarification, we're really voting for one, right?
We are voting for one. Yeah, you're voting for one. Yeah, because Samantha is the only one with school-aged children.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I cast you the second one already. I did. So,
What's that?
The advanced one.
Yeah,
just separate.
yeah,
I'll just hold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
I got it. All right. Am I waiting for anybody else's?
I wasn't sure if you're seeing this in too.
Not the ed advance one yet.
Yeah.
You can hold that one. Is this ed advance or is it?
That is.
That's this?
It's
All right. That's task force. Roger. Okay. So this will be interesting because we have a tie in one of them. So John Puz, 8 votes. Penny Miller, 5 votes. Kirby Moranti, 5 votes. Kristen Young, 7 votes. So we have a tie between Penny and Kirby.
We have to go again. Do we have a piece of paper?
No, right, so they're,
She's not here.
so I can't count her vote one way or the other, and for anybody else.
Can you do a runoff vote?
It's up to, do the board chair.
What's that?
Get your mic.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Can you do a runoff vote with the people that are here
We
for
can.
that one position? Okay.
Yep, we can. Do we have any paper? We're going to hand those back out and just do a,
On the back?
sure. Yeah, yeah.
If you
select
have
that.
your advance
Yep,
sheet.
Yep, that works. That works. So we are going to do a runoff vote
Can you give that back to Tim? Yeah, thank you.
between Penny Miller and Kirby Moranti.
This is my scribble.
You can write on that piece of paper, either Penny Miller or Kirby Moranti.
And did you give me the advance vote?
No, I didn't.
That's what people came back to grab, so I'll keep that.
Yes, please.
Come on, John,
Which one are you doing now?
waiting on
I'm
you.
just doing it over again to make sure I got it right.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, well, let's,
I know.
we could be here for a while.
I'm kinda worried about over here. Over here. Six, seven, eight people? 5, 3, okay, got it right. So the final vote on the runoff there is Penny with 5 votes, Kirby with 3.
So our appointed members to the task force are
John?
appointed Board of Ed members to the task force are John Puz, Kristen Young, and Penny Miller.
So we need a motion to appoint.
Can I get a motion to appoint those 3 individuals to the task force?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Penny, a second by Eric to appoint John, Kristen, and Penny to the task force. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous. All right, perfect.
That was hard work.
That was. We've got to do it again. A couple agenda items later. Routine business. This should be.
No.
I have to do the
Forgot
community.
one's at the bottom.
I'm doing the other ones now. The
So-
bottom part. The other members, the community members.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We're not done yet.
Almost getting
I
there.
was moving on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, Okay. Votes have been tallied. Carmen Neal, 5. Jeff Linton, 3.
So can I get a motion? Can I get a motion from the board to appoint Carmen Neal to the task force?
Oh, yes.
And Samantha Wall.
And Samantha Wall to the task force.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Penny. Can I get a second? Second by Kristen. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous.
Congratulations, Carmen.
Thank you. Can I move on now?
Sure. I don't know, did you skip anything else?
I gotta get down to that one. All right, so the next item on the agenda is item F, routine business. We need the approval of the minutes. So we have, does anybody object to taking the minutes of November 11th, 25th, 15th, and 17th all as one motion? I have a motion by Tom to to approve the minutes of the November 11th, 25th, 15th, and 17th. Can I
I'll
have a second?
them.
Motion by Tom, second by Penny. Any discussion?
I just have one question. I was not at the November 25th. Does that matter?
Did you read through the minutes? Is there any
I
reason?
read
you
them.
want-
No,
would
I have
you-
no problem.
Would
with
you
it.
want to abstain for any reason?
I just didn't know, I didn't know if you had to abstain if you weren't there. No? Okay.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the expenditure report?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Tim. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. Any discussion on the expenditure report?
Don't we have to do the December minutes?
Yeah, I did them all, 11th, 25th,
Mine
15th.
don't. I thought you just did November.
Yeah, no, took them all.
Okay.
All right, discussion on the expenditure report,
May I make a comment?
please.
Okay, if I could turn everyone's attention to the expenditure report. In accordance with Section 36 of Public Act 2593, requiring the superintendent to report out on the non-lapsing fund on page 5. At the bottom, 1, 2, 3 lines up from the bottom on page 5, the non-lapsing fund currently stands at $217,452. The encumbered amount of the $28,500 the Board of Education voted to have utilized for the task force and to award the contract to Silver Petroselli and Associates will be taken from this line, but I wanted to make sure everyone is aware of that. And then to be in alignment with this, we will then also submit the report to the Connecticut State Department of Education when they make that portal available, and also send to the exclusive bargaining representatives of the certified employees, the teachers, the admins, everyone that we have to. So in alignment with that, making it public, I want to make sure people understand where this is, and that a report will be sent as well in alignment with the current legislation. That is all.
Or is there any additional comments or questions regarding the expenditure report? Okay, do we have a motion by Tim, a second by Eric to approve the expenditure report? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous. Okay, next item on the agenda is old business. We have some second reads of, it looks like 5 policies. Penny?
Did you get my email?
I did, I'm happy to like talk through it if anybody has additional questions.
I've asked Kristen to do it because I wasn't there.
Okay.
And I could help and support,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes, they are second reads, so we could take them one at a time, or we could take them together. Does anybody have any comments? Because they are second reads. We did go through these at our last meeting, at our retreat meeting. All right.
Yes.
So if you've gone through them, whatever adjustments were needed were made at that time, right? Or since
Yes.
that time?
Yes, that's just affirming your question, yes.
Can you do them all at one time, approve them, or do they have to be done separately?
I'll take them separately.
Okay.
Yep. We'll just move through them more quickly if everybody's okay with it.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Policy 5151, students, child identification, gifted and talented. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Tom, second. Sorry, second by John. All those in favor? Unanimous. Policy 6172.1, instruction, gifted and talented students program. Can I get a motion? Motion by Tom. Can I get a second? Second by John. All those in favor? Unanimous. Policy 5131.111, students, video surveillance cameras in schools. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Tom. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Penny. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Revision, policy 6161.3, instruction, comparability of services. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Tom. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Penny. All those in favor? That is unanimous. And finally, revision, policy 3323, business, non-instructional operations, soliciting prices, bidding requirements. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Tom. Second?
Second.
Second by Penny. All those in favor? That is unanimous. That was fantastic. Thank you. We did, yeah. We went through these in a lot of detail. All right, next item on the agenda is public comment for agenda items only. Would anybody like to address the board? Come on, somebody. All right, seeing none, we're going to close public comment for today. Next item
I
is,
have one question.
yes.
Jeff, this policy 3323, business non-instructional operation soliciting prices, is that similar to the new one that we just worked on the other day? That policy?
It is similar, but stands alone
Okay,
because of the bidding requirement process.
Okay.
There'll be some overlap there.
okay.
Yep.
Just curious.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they're both in the 3000 series,
Okay, thank you.
of course.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is I reports. We have item A at advance. So in your packet was a November 2025 Board of Directors report from Ed Advance. I'm not going to flip through this, but you all had this in your packets. You all have the opportunity to go through this. One of the items on Ed Advance, which is the other piece of paper in front of you, was Deirdre Tyndall was our Board of Ed representative on Ed Advance. She sat on the Board of Directors with Ed Advance, correct? Correct. And we need to appoint a replacement for Deirdre for the town of New Hartford. I did send an email out to the board soliciting interest in serving as our liaison or on the Board of Directors with Ed Advance. I received 2 interested people, Penny Miller and Kristen Young. So similar to what we did for the task force, we need to select one individual to be our representative with Ed Advance. So if you could fill it out and send it in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone able to hear me?
Come on.
All right, 8 board members. This is why we always love a 9th. Penny, 4 votes. Kristen, 4 votes.
I'm here. Why can't anyone hear me?
I will withdraw. I have a million things going on and I wasn't sure you had anybody, so I didn't want this seat to go empty. So I trust Penny. We've worked together a lot. So I will just withdraw my name and make this easy unless anybody has any objections.
Nobody can stop you from
I think
withdrawing.
it's my time. All right. I'm out, y'all.
Good bag and plead.
Thanks, Kristen.
All right, so I need a motion to appoint Penny Miller to serve as the New Hartford Board of Education representative with Ed Advance. Motion by John. Can I get a second?
Is anyone able to hear me?
Second by Tim. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. That is unanimous. But I have good news for you, Kristen. Next month at our meeting, we have to appoint a representative to CAPE. So you have an opportunity there if you
That's
don't.
exciting.
All right. All right.
So Jeff, do they send out,
Sarah will take care of everything. She'll get you registered, all set up on their distribution list,
Okay.
everything, get you all squared away.
okay,
Yep. Make sure you keep that email though that had all the meeting dates and expectations. If you don't have it, Sarah will take care of it. So get it to you, okay?
Sarah, can you make sure that I get it, please?
Yep.
The meeting dates, thank you.
Who would like to make the motion? to
Okay, wait a
adjourn?
minute.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I did get in the mail the other day, and I think I already got it once before, a pin from Cabe for being on the board 10 years. Am I supposed to wear both of them?
Yeah,
Or
wear them all,
return?
Penny. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's an awesome honor.
Yes, please. That's fantastic.
Thank you. And
Penny, would you like to
also,
make the motion to adjourn?
also, I'm
Yeah.
giving everybody Monday off from work because it's my birthday. Yes, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 6:06. By
Second
Penny, second.
And return your
Someone's-
black pen
someone
so
wants it.
Jeff
Someone
doesn't
wants
have
it.
to
Tim?
buy anymore.
Tom? That is unanimous. Thank you all.
All
right.
Return your pen.
Kirby was texting me. I can't answer during the meeting.
Yeah.
She must have been watching. Yeah, we can't.